Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Bonsai Theme Emporium. Today we have two videos. I'm going to do it in two instead of consolidating it in one, so to make it easier for people to find each one. This is the Starlink Command Lance. This is kind of the Catalyst first attempt to kind of get us interested in the pre-painted mechs, which you can see, which is, that one's Alexander Kerensky's Orion. And the mechs look really good. That's the front of the box, the back of the box. So let's crack this bad boy open. All right. Ooh, look at that. Always gotta tease you guys because I gotta do the paperwork first. So this is the Elf Strike cards, and the first thing I'm noticing. This is an Orion 1KB, which does not exist. Doesn't exist. Orion's Kerensky's Orion was like a highly modified one. Didn't have the missile launcher. Didn't have all this other stuff. So this is a new configuration. So that is really interesting. He's skill 1 also. So because this is the character card, so you have that, and then you have Theodore Kurita, and then you have a shiftless son who made society worse in all aspects. Nicholas Kerensky and his AS7DH Atlas 2. He's skill 2 because he's not as good as his dad. Devlin Stone, all right. Same mech. You have the Phoenix 1B Special, which actually looks really, really cool. Front and back. So you have the 1B and the 1C special. So that's got case and ECM, and then also has case and ECM. So I don't know what the difference is. We'll find out once the record sheets drop. And you have the Thunderhawk 7X, and then the Thunderhawk 7F. So I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. The medium range bracket is a little bit better, but that doesn't mean anything. I don't know what that means. All right, so pilot cards. We actually got quite a few pilot cards. Usually they only do like one card per mech, but this one's got quite a few. So we have Alexander Kerensky, front and back, Inspiring Commander, Tactical Genius, 1/1. Theodore Kurita, he's only gunnery skill 4, Cope, House Creative fans, Cope and Seethe, slow but steady, Inspiring Commander, Forward Reserver. So he's okay. So that's fine probably. Nicholas Kerensky, he's 2/2 pilot, Iron Will, Headhunter, Tactical Genius. Devlin Stone, 2/1 pilot. Whoo-wee. And he is Inspiring, Fist Fire, and Float Like a Butterfly. That's wild. Aaron de Chevalier. Nice. 1/3. So he's kind of a mid-pilot, which probably explains why his... Well, no, he got headshotted by somebody. That's how he died. So there's that. And then I apologize in advance for anybody who recognizes that as their native tongue. I'm going to go with Goo Mignon. I'm sorry. And then there's Goo Garathan. Garathan. I don't know. I did my best. So those are the Phoenix Hawks, and then you have a Massasoit, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And a Turov Mangan. All right. So there's a cavalcade of fancy pilot names. You have the Elf Strike paperwork, and let's actually get into the mechs themselves. And the first thing is, oh boy, what is happening here? Oh, hello. That's very. What is this for? Where does it live? Okay. So you have this. Like, do you peel this off? Do you, like, what? I'm so confused. Like, okay. And then you have Atlas Karinsky's Orion, which is pre-painted. And my initial thoughts is I don't hate it. I don't know why they had to tie it in when no one else is. I mean, I probably do know why they tied it in to keep it from bouncing off the walls. That's the cockpit. There's like a line through the cockpit, although I don't know that that's necessarily a problem with the paint job. I think that's just something about the sculpt. If you can kind of see, it's got a little bit of shiny iridescence to it, and then same thing with the weapon, the medium laser holes. You have the AC-10. Surprisingly detailed paint job. I don't hate this. And of course, players are going to feel the way they feel about it, regardless of the reality of the situation. But what this reminds me of is it reminds me of one of the really early efforts by Fantasy Flight Games back when they owned X-Wing before it got taken over by Atomic Mass Games and Quietly Murdered. This actually is a really... I hate to admit it, but the factory children overseas, they got a steady paint hand. That's pretty good. Precise paint apps, really decals, or I don't know if they use some sort of paint printing technology. I have no clue how that would even work to kind of like print this kind of detail on a 3D surface. But it's kind of, as you can kind of see from the shine, it's a little bit of a satin finish. They claim that it's going to be easy to strip, so I'm handling it fairly aggressively. None of the paint's flaking off. There was no paint lost or chipped in transit. The feet, where you would think that they kind of rub against the plastic blister, not showing any signs of wear and tear. So that's okay. I don't hate this. That's actually really nice. So you have that. And then you have the Atlas II, who's a big ugly boy. He's missing the rear weapons, but then he makes up for it in forward firepower, which I always appreciated about the Atlas II. Then you have the Phoenix Hawk special. So you have that. Like, okay, so that doesn't come off. The arms stay still, okay. And then you have the Thunderhawk, which is a personal favorite of mine because one of the first TROs I ever owned as a budding player was the original TRO 3058, the one with the bushwhacker against kind of like the Mars red landscape. So this looks pretty solid. I like this upgrade visually from the last one. So there's that. And then you have this little guy. So you have your little dime bag. And then you have this, which is oh, let me see if I can't get that. Oop. So there's, stop, look at that. How cool is that? So now you're gonna make me pull out the unit card. Oh no, so it's got, okay. I mean, so it looks like the weapon appears in both configurations. I'll be damned. That is super strange. Why would you make that a separate component? The fit, friction-wise, is okay. I'm tapping it pretty hard. It's not flying out. That's crazy. Why would they do that? See, it feels firm, and I bet if you were to paint this and any paint would like thicken up the trigger or the hand, the pistol grip part of it sufficiently that it wouldn't be a problem. But I'm probably just gonna super glue that in place. Give this a quick bath in like some soapy water, and then make sure it's good and dry, and then drop that drop that gun in. So that's interesting. So I will be back after I clean this up, and I will do some comparisons to the original sculpts. Okay, so after a little bit of a trial to get all the stuff that we're looking for, we have the miniatures that are kind of like for like comparisons for the miniatures that we have in the Lance pack. So let's start with, of course, the Orion. Very, very minor reposes, it looks like to me. So if we're looking at them top down, yeah, the feet position are switched. This Orion has its arms kind of like more up and forward. This one's kind of more like panning or scanning for threats. This is primed in Vallejo light gray, but yeah, the miniatures are physically identical. Otherwise, there's nothing different about them. So boring. Then we have the Atlas 2, and of course this is the first time that we've gotten the Atlas 2 outside of metal. Ironwood Metals does make a derivation of this exact same miniature in metal, so if you want to just get that and not futz with the rest of this, go see Ares Games and Miniatures. Ares Games and Miniatures, not sponsored by the way, super turbo ultra not sponsored. I just push people to him because he's a good dude. But yeah, so that's the detail of the Atlas, and this one is from just the basic Lance pack. Again, primed kind of light gray, bright white. Again, the big things are placement of the weapons, firepower. So these are two very different designs, even though they're supposedly related. Although you see there's plenty of DNA in one mech compared to the other. And this is the, I believe the Atlas S from the, no, I don't think it is. No, this is just another Atlas from, I believe, the Hansen's Rough Riders pack. Again, you can kind of see the details more clearly because one miniature is primed, the other is in bare plastic, and so is the other one. So you can kind of see a lot of these repeating design elements to where this is an evolution of the Atlas as opposed to a completely new machine, but it's still fairly different. So there's that. And then I actually have, and this is the Phoenix Hawk Special, and of course it's got the hand cannon, and then this is the standard Lance pack variation painted by myself. So you can see a little bit more head movement, details a little bit better because this one's a later production miniature, and they kind of figured out how this material works and behaves. Woo, focus. There we go. So whoop. And then this is the another unprimed one. This is actually from the Alpha Strike box set, which is not, I don't think, substantially. Yeah, no, this is identical from. So this is the Alpha Strike one, just unprimed, but it's identical to the one that comes in the Lance pack. So there's that, and then you have a little handgun. So of course, definitely want to glue that in, otherwise it will just want to pop off. Boop. Oh well, I have the little baggie for it, so it's not that big of a deal. All right, and then you have the Thunderhawk, and the Thunderhawk, of course, this is the first time we've gotten this in plastic, and I don't have the ancient Ironwood Metals and version. Very rounded, very sophisticated looking mech. Looks very sleek for something that's 100 tons, but it's pretty good. So all in all, I think this is a solid effort. I was pleasantly surprised by kind of the main gimmick, if you will, of the Starlight Command Lance, which is the pre-painted Orion, even though it's an Orion 1K, almost identical to the one that we got in the Lance pack. Really impressed with the quality of the paint job. May not leave it, I don't know. I might just paint these guys all as, you know, SLDF colors, just for funsies, but looks solid. 4 out of 5 Lance packs. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have a good one.